Alrighty guys, welcome to week 2, day 2 of skills training. We will be bumping things up in terms of volume a little bit today. So I know last week's class was longer, so I will be keeping a quicker pace. I'm actually going to grab my timer here. Today, we're really only going to be introducing one new concept, and that's going to be the kettlebell clean. So we'll spend a little bit of time there first. That's going to be our first objective, is to cover some technique in the clean. The 66 hinges that we do today will also chip away at those 66 by using the clean as part of it. So as we talked about last time and last week, make sure that you've already warmed up before this class. If you haven't, go ahead and hit pause and take some time to do some cars as well as halos and goblet squats, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. What I would like you to do is grab a bell that's light for you and then grab your swing bell, okay? So of that 66, we're going to go ahead and chip away at about half of it on just doing swings. So you should be using your bell from the other day to do swings. After we get kind of comfortable and warm with the swing again, we'll go to the clean, all right? So we're going to do about 30 with the swing, between 30 and 40, and then we'll spend the rest of our hinges on cleans, all right? So let's begin. I'm going to get my running timer going here. Should be getting our new timer in the next couple days, which would be awesome. So let's begin. Let's start with 5 two-hand swings out of 66. Excellent. Fast and loose, as we talked about in the last class. Just shake out the hands, shake out the legs, just keep everything relaxed. We're going to go through about 6 to 8 sets here at a pretty quick pace, and then we'll practice the clean. Now the clean is important because it's not necessarily just a transitional movement that you use to be able to do other things. You can practice it. I mean, I use it for conditioning in my own sessions, but that is part of its fundamental importance. So doing good cleans, performing cleans with good technique, allows you to set up very strong squats, very strong presses, very strong push presses, and other types of movements. So it's going to be important to make sure you get that technique down as we go through the next couple weeks, so that you can do even more stuff with the bell besides swing it. So we're at about a minute. Let's go to our second set. 5 reps again. This is going to bring us to 10 total. Very nice. Set our little break again here. So as we keep going with the swing, I'll start to reiterate some of the techniques, where to position yourself, how to get the swing started, things that you're looking for. But the most important aspect of the swing is getting into this deep hinge and then getting to this rigid, straight, tall position as quickly as possible, all right? So got about 30-ish seconds until the next set. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my other working bell, if I can get it. Hopefully that's the right one. Yep. Alrighty. So this next set will be 5. This will bring us to 15 total. So again, about 6 inches between your toes and the bell. Hip chop. Root your weight to the bell by leaning back ever so slightly. Hike it and stand 5 times. Very good. That's got us to about 15. Piece of cake so far. Now, in the swing, there is a lot of debate around the arm position. What should the arms be doing? What should the elbows be doing? I want you to think of the swing and the bell as an extension of your arm. So the bell should be essentially as far away from your shoulder as it can be, and you want to have a nearly straight elbow. So we don't want to see a swing where you keep the elbows in close. That's pulling the swing out of its arc, and it's a different mechanical pattern. That's actually the technique we're going to use in a moment for the cleans. But you want to let the bell project forward and try to keep the arms straight, all right? So this next set will be 5. That's going to bring us to 20. And here we go. 6 inches between you and the bell. Hip chop. Reach out to grab it and root your weight. Hike and stand for 5. Very good. Fast and loose, just relax. So far, so good. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep us on a quicker pace today. We'll go through our swings, we'll get into the clean, and then we'll go through squats and presses. And that'll be it. Piece of cake. Now, what we're doing with the swing right now is we're trying to cue up the pattern of how we accelerate and apply force to the bell. All right, so that is through the hips. And if you're getting a good swing and a good contraction here, the only thing you have to do for the clean is just change what you do with your arms and change the path of the bell. All right, so it makes it easy to transfer one skill to another when they both rely on generally the same mechanics. All right, so a good swing is critical for a good clean, a good snatch, so on and so forth. All right, so next set. We'll do 5 again. This will bring us to 25. 6 inches, hip chop, root your weight to the bell, and hike, stand 5 times. Very good. Another break. That's got us to 25. I think what we'll do is we'll go to about 40. That should give us 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so that should give us about 3 practice sets, roughly 25 reps total on the clean. Now on the clean, we're going to be practicing with single arm, so we'll split those reps between both sides. But I think that's a pretty good start for today. Whew. Tough work, seriously. As we said last week, Rachel and I are doing these classes for real. So we're right there with you. What it helps me do is feel what you might be feeling so that we don't go too fast or we don't go too slow. So next one coming up, this will be 5 again, bringing us to 30. 6 inches between you and the bell. Hip chop. Reach out, root your weight to the bell by shifting back a little bit. And here we go. Hike it up into the groin. Excellent. All right, 2 sets to go, and then we'll practice the clean. Now, I don't believe we talked about this last week, but I want to talk a little bit about the breath in the swing. You'll hear Rachel, you'll hear myself, you'll hear other hard-style kettlebell coaches doing this breathing when they swing. And you'll hear a hiss. So here's how we explain what's happening there. The moment that we hiss is the moment that we extend the hips and stand. That is the moment where you need the most amount of stability and rigidity around your spine so that you don't hurt your back doing swings and doing the drills that we do. We're practicing these skills. So if you take your thumbs, stick it into the sides of your belly, like into your oblique, and cough. You should feel a contraction in the walls of the abdomen, so the oblique muscles, etc. If you hiss by putting your tongue to your teeth, and you do the same thing, you should feel that same contraction. And that contraction is what creates stability during the effort portion of the swing. All right, so on this set, try to practice that hissing. You want to do it right when your legs start to straighten out. So here we go. Next set of 5. Alrighty. Set our clock here. So hopefully that makes sense. That quick breath creates the rigidity. The central rigidity is what allows you to apply force further away from the body, perhaps through the hands, like throwing, pressing, doing a push-up, perhaps through the feet and through the legs, doing a squat or a jump or a swing. So your ability to not master, but to be conscious of using your breath effort to create tension is going to determine how powerful you can be. And that, if there is a fundamental lesson to what we're trying to teach you, that's probably one of them, is you can use the breath to create tension. It's not about holding the breath, it's about creating pressure by kind of blocking the air from coming out, all right? So, this is our final set, and then we'll go to practicing the cleans. Here we go, same thing. Focus your breath on the effort portion of the swing when you are driving your legs into the ground and straightening them out. Here we go, final swing set. Alrighty, very nice. So we'll take a little break. Let's go to the clean portion. So for this, you want to grab a lighter bell. Again, I won't disclose bell sizes, but this bell is almost 1/3 of the bell I was using before. So whatever you've got that's very, very light, let's practice with that, okay? Now, the clean, as I said, is simply a change in the mechanics of what the arm is doing. And you know, people like to argue, well, the backswing of the swing and clean and snatch is all different, sure, whatever. But the principle is the same. You have a powerful hip hinge that ends up either out in front of you in the rack or above you. That doesn't change. So that idea is what matters. And you can get semantic about it if you want to do that, but that won't make you stronger. by just debating things. So if you want to know more about why this gets us worked up, ask me personally, okay? Now, the clean, what you're going to be doing is interrupting the arc path of the bell. So normally, it's going to travel through this path, kind of like a semicircle or an arc. And what we want to do is pull it out of that path. So here's the easiest way to think about it. As you extend the hips and you get to this point, I want you to imagine you're at a concert somewhere and someone keeps bumping into you from behind because they're so excited to see Shawn Mendes or whoever's up there, okay? And they're freaking out, they're getting excited, they keep bumping into you. So what do we normally do? We kind of, hey man, you jab somebody, right? Just to get them to back off. So this is what you're going to do in the clean. As the legs straighten, you jab the elbow back. And that's going to pull the bell out of its path and bring it right to your chest. And we'll talk about the rack position in a moment, but let's just practice that and see if we can get that jabbing motion. So we're at 40 swings, 40 hinges, we've got 26 to go. So let's give it a shot. Let's start with 5 cleans with your light bell. And when you're doing it, focus on jabbing and bringing it into what's called the rack position. So I'll go about 45 degrees, I guess. I'll stay here so you can see it. So let's do a set of 5. Everything is the same. You're going to grab it with your right hand instead of 2 hands. Hike it, jab. Now it goes back down, just let it drop. Jab, 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 jab. All right? So that's the objective, to pull the bell out of its arc. Just pop them with an elbow. See if they keep shoving you after that. So take a little break, and then we'll go to the left side. Same thing, practicing that jab. You're just punching the elbow back. The smoother you get at this, the less jerky the landing will be in the rack position. All right, so same thing, hike it, jab. Jab, jab. All right, now let's talk about the rack position and where you want to land. All right, so I'm going to do a clean. I'm just going to try, I think maybe to zoom in on my arm a little bit here so you can see. So we clean. You're not cleaning, you're just looking. All right, if you look at my wrist should be straight. You don't want it to be bent back like this. Wrist should be straight. Elbow should be stacked underneath the wrist. This vertical forearm position sets you up for pressing in the future or for a good squat as well. All right, so if you need to, you can pause, study that rack position. But it's really quite simple. You want a straight wrist and a vertical forearm, all right? So let's practice the clean again. We are at 50 reps, so we've got 16 to go. So let's do another set of 5 on each side, and then that'll just leave us with we'll do 3 on each side, piece of cake. So here we go, jabbing, the elbow back, straight wrist at the top, jab, jab. You should be hissing when I'm saying jab. All right? And let's go to the other side. Same thing. You want 5 crisp reps where you punch back into that person behind you. All right, little break. let's see here. On the goblet squat, sorry, I know I'm away from the camera here. Goblet squat coming up is going to be 34 and 25 on the press today. Excellent. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of everything that I am doing as well. All right, let's do final set of cleans here. This is going to be 3 each side, and then we'll go to our goblet squat. So, I'm going to go totally perpendicular to you guys so you can see the jabbing motion, okay? Very simple. Hike, jab. Hike through, jab. Hike through. Set it down. I did 5. Whoops, that's all right. Let's go to the other side when you're ready. And here we go. Jab. Jab. You might even see my left elbow pop back behind my back, depending on if I can get that extreme enough. So a little break. That's an intro to the clean. Now what we'll do today with the goblet squats is we'll do roughly half of our reps. So I think it was 34. I'm horrible with the memory here. I think it was 34 reps. So we'll do about half that are just normal goblet squats. I'm going to introduce one new concept, and then we're going to go to single bell front squats. So you'll be squatting just with the bell on one side. And we'll talk a little bit about why that's beneficial. What I'd like to do with your presses is just sneak the pressing in between squat sets. So we're not really going to hammer too much pressing technique today. I think we may have mentioned this last week. If the pressing is difficult for you and you don't have a bell that you can press, then find an elevation for your hands where 3 to 6 reps of doing a push-up is challenging, and just work that until you hit 25 reps for the day instead of worrying about trying to figure out the press, all right? I know some of you guys, just have a couple bells and maybe you can't press the lightest one that you have, so working the push-up is going to be equally valuable. So let's get our goblet squat bell out, and we're going to go to, let's see if we have, let me just double check, I think it's 34 on the squat. It is. So I'd like to go, I want to get at least 20 each side. So we'll do 3 sets of 5 on the goblet squat, and then we'll do 2 sets of 5 on each side for the single bell front squat. All right. So in your goblet squat, again, you have 2 options. You can hike it right up and hold it by the handle, or you can do what I do, which is the safety clean into the crush grip, where I'm holding the bell as a whole. All right. What I want to teach you today is a tension technique in the squat. Most of you guys are training at home. No one's going to hear you when you do this, so don't be embarrassed by what I'm about to teach you, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to grunt, or you're going to create a sound that sounds like H-U-P, hup, and the P comes from shutting your mouth. So we're going to squat, and right before you stand, you'll shout, hup, and then you'll stand. Same thing as before. Stick your thumbs into your sides and then shout hup, hup, and you should feel that tension, okay? So that's why we do this. I know our folks who have some background in striking sports, there is even tennis, okay? Look at tennis. Like as soon as they hit that ball, they're making a sound because the sound creates tension. And whether they know that or not, that's where the sound is coming from, all right? So we're going to practice that on our squats today. So if you're working with me, on this particular version, right hand grabs the handle, left hand cups or cradles those knuckles. You're going to hike it and come into the crush grip position. And here we go. And bring it down, and little break. Alrighty, so on our presses, we want about 25 reps today. So have your pressing bell nearby, and you're just going to press 5 on one side after each squat. Alright, so I like to wait maybe about a minute before I do that press. Let's see. Alrighty, and here we go. 5 on the press. Very good. About a minute. We'll go to our second set of goblet squats, which will bring us to 10. Whew. Ain't easy, man. Now, like I said, you're going to add this grunt. The grunt creates spinal rigidity, core rigidity, core stability, whatever you want to call it. That's what it does. The reason that you do that is because your brain knows if your spine is protected, that it can apply force elsewhere, and that force isn't going to result in an injury to the spine, hopefully, unless something fails mechanically, and then it doesn't matter anymore. So, here we go. Second set of goblet squats. Same focus. Use the grunt to create that tension. Here we go. Clean the bell up. And 5. About a minute. Whew. Tough work, man. Moving at a much faster pace today will hopefully get you guys done in less than 70 minutes this time. I know that was a long one. It was a tough one. I talked too much, I think. So that's okay. About 30 seconds. Then we're going to press 5 with your pressing bell. Again, I'm not going to go too much into technique here. I think I talked about this last week. Keep your wrist straight. Set up a vertical shape between wrist and elbow, and you'll be fine. We'll go into deeper stuff, pressing, probably next week. All right, so here we go. This is going to be 5 on the left side. good. About a minute. Next goblet squat coming up. Got 10 presses down. Actually 5 on each side. So quite a few sets left to go. 4 sets. This will be our final goblet squat, which will bring us to 15. And then we're going to get 4 sets of 5, changing hands each time. All right? Now we're not doing, I guess I'm being lazy with waving the sets, doing set to set variability, or perhaps I'm being more time efficient. One of the trade-offs, so as an example, you could do 2 sets of 5, or you could do 4, 6, 4. So 3 sets, 4, 6, 4. They both, actually that's totally wrong, sorry. I think I was trying to think of a different number. 3, 4, 3. So you have 2 sets of 5 equals 10 reps, or you have 3 sets, 3, 4, 3 equals 10 reps also. 3, 4, 3 is easier, but it takes longer. So it just depends on your situation and what you've got going on with regard to choices that you're going to make. So here we go. 3rd goblet squat. 5 again. Focusing on the grunt. Alrighty. Little break. Got a press set coming up. And then we have our first single-sided, single bell front squat, where we're going to make use of our clean. Now what you should be finding with your press is if you get a solid clean, then the press should feel stronger. So it should set you up in a better rack position, give you a better press. All right? So focus on that jabbing feeling, and that's going to get you in the right spot. All right? So here we go. 5 presses. Start with an excellent clean. Very good. 1 minute. Now, you still want a similar bell, something that's tough for 3 to 6 reps on the single-sided front squat. All right, so we're going to follow the press. So if you press on the right, you're going to do the front squats on the right as well. Then we're going to press left, do front squats on the left. So that'll prevent you from getting tired in the rack position before you do the next press. So what we've got coming up here is a right side press, or a right side squat. Then we'll take a minute, left side press, so on and so forth. We're at 34 minutes training time, not including your warm-up, so that's pretty good. Here we go. Let's go right side press. You go right side squat. You're going to clean it and then squat 5 times. All right. So here we go. And squat. Very good. 1 minute to go. Just going to grab a towel. All right. Coming up here is a left side press for 5, which is going to get us to 10 on each side, I think. So here we go, left side press. Very good. About a minute, left side squat coming up. Then we've got one more squat set on each side, and a couple more presses, 3 more sets of presses, and then that's it, piece of cake. Hopefully you're finding that by making the right bell selection, that the rest is plenty of rest for you. It's close. I mean, it's more than I normally like to take, but I also am a little more lazy with my strength training, taking like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, even 5 minutes. But you should find for this work, because we're doing so much alternating, that about a minute or about 90 seconds is doable. So here we go. Let's go left side squat. Excellent clean. And then squat 5 times. Alrighty. Got 3rd pressing set coming up. Tough stuff. Yes, sir. About 30 seconds. Again, if you're doing push-ups, don't do push-ups every time I'm doing them. Every time I press, you'll end up with double the amount of push-ups. You'll end up with 50. So you would just be alternating push-ups and squats. The reason we want you to do push-ups, again, is if you don't have a bell that's comfortable for you to press, you can go to push-ups, and that's going to be your easiest option. All right, so here we go. 3rd set, right side presses. And a little break. Right side squats coming up. Just relax. Again, we explained this concept last week. Should be able to carry a full conversation in between all of these sets. So, you know, nothing should be so taxing that you feel like you can't breathe or you can't speak. If you're working out with somebody, you know, you guys should be able to chat back and forth after each of these sets, and especially before the next one. If you are having trouble at the end of a set, don't do the next one until you're slowed down and feeling a lot more relaxed, all right? So if you need to pause the video and add rest, that's totally fine. So here we go. Clean, right side, 5 squats. Very good. About a minute rest. And then left side presses for 5. That'll be our 3rd set of presses, 2nd and final set of squats. And then we'll just have some quick pressing to finish. Let's see. I think that was all of it. All right, about 20 seconds. Whew. This is hard work, man. Hard work, right. Left side presses. Third set, bringing us to 15 total reps. Getting a little heavy. That's all right. All right, minute to go. And then left side squat. And then we got 2 pressing sets on each side. Rachel's got her playing here. Looks like she definitely did more variability than I did, so that's good. Alrighty, here we go. Coming up on the left side squat. This will be the final squat. Little grunts. Here we go. So we got 2 pressing sets to go, and then that's it for today, and that's it for this week. If you do this session last, but at least on the strength portion, that's it. Very nice work, guys. Hope you're feeling good so far. We'll talk about this concept a lot, but all of this should feel like you're at the edge of your comfort zone. It shouldn't really feel like you're way outside or even outside your comfort zone. It should feel like you're on the edge, just looking over and maybe like stepping a toe over the line, okay? There's a time and a place to go all the way outside your comfort zone, and we will help you plan that out. Not only when to do it, but how to do it in a way that's not going to crush you. So 4th pressing set, here we go. Very good. About a minute before the other side. Tough work, man. It's kicking my butt. Seriously. Whew. What's going to happen in the next 2 weeks? I have no idea, man. All right, here we go. 4th pressing set left. There. Let's see. All good. Just going to turn my fan, well, I don't want it to make too much noise if I turn the fan on. Almost there. Whew. 20 seconds. Final set, right side presses for 5. Here we go. Start with an excellent clean. Good rack position. And about a minute. And final set. So far, so good. Hopefully, you guys will be getting an email every Friday, Q&A, check-in email. That's a really good opportunity for you to get some one-on-one attention to issues that you might be having in between your strategy sessions. You can always bring things up on Table Talk if you think it'll be relevant to the group and not necessarily like a hyper-specialized issue, which we would rather give you closer attention when stuff like that comes up. So if you're like, my shoulder does this when I swing or press and it hurts, that's something you want individual attention with. If it's, I'm having trouble getting the bell to land in the rack properly, that's a great subject for Table Talk. So you guys have lots of opportunities to get answers to questions. The most important thing is that you ask. So please ask, please reach out to us when stuff comes up. We want to help you make progress and get stronger. So here we go, final set. Thanks very much, guys. We will see you next week. Keep up the great work and keep kicking ass, all right? Thank you. Whew.